All right, guys, I wanted to talk today about a couple different things. I, I'm going to talk a little bit about um, the chaos with a narcissist because there is chaos. Anyone who's been in a relationship with one of these people knows that there is going to be chaos and a lot of confusion. Now, when you're, depending on where you are with them in that relationship, okay, if you're on a pedestal stage, it's going to be pretty smooth. Once the devalue and discard stage starts to happen, you're going to start seeing major red flags flying in the air. You're going to start seeing confusion, problems, chaos. You're going to start questioning a lot of things. But one of the things, that I've dealt with myself, even after you've broken up with them, is the cryptic messages, the hidden messages. I don't want to say hidden; they're not really hidden. They're more confusion. Just they will send you out these messages to you that they want you to figure out, and they'll leave it open ended, and they'll have like a lot of different meanings. Okay, where you can't really, there is no meaning to it because there's like 3 or 4 different meanings to this one thing that they're saying, and you don't know what it means. You can read it. You could read it a couple of times. You can ask others about it and say, what's this mean? What's that about? And nobody understands it. And nobody knows because the narcissist does this on purpose. Okay. Narcissists bring chaos and confusion to your life on purpose. They like that. They like, whether it's saying or maybe like writing you an email. They might write you an email where they'll just say a couple things to you and you'll read it and be like, what's that mean? I don't understand that. What's that mean? There's no meaning to it. But to them, they're doing it on purpose because they want to confuse you and they want you to think about them. They want you to have to write them back and say, what's that mean? And then they'll ignore you. Okay. They'll do this. I've talked about it on dating sites. My narcissist used to, years ago, he would even, sometimes even recently, um, make up profiles on dating sites. If he thought that I was on there, which I only go on there for experimenting, I don't go on there to date anybody. I'm in a relationship. My time on there was only um, for research, really. But he would create profiles on there on purpose and kind of lure you, put cryptic messages in the profile, and then you would read it and be like, well, who's he talking about? Is that me? And you don't even know who he's even talking about in the message. It could be anybody he's talking about, right? But you'll say to yourself, well, they know that I do this. Like, they know that it's me. Like, obviously they know that you're on a certain site, whether it's a social media site or any other site. So it's to you, but you don't know what it means. You don't know. It could have 2 meanings. It could have 3 meanings. Okay. And then when they lure you to them and you do write to them, they will ignore you. They will give you the silent treatment. So I'm saying, like, they will use any platform, any messaging service, any social media service, anything that they can to still do the narcissistic abuse, whether it's silent treatment, ignoring you, manipulating you in some way. They will do this even after you've broken up. It doesn't matter to them because they literally love the charge that they get from continuing to play these games with you, because they love the game. They love it. And they love playing games with certain people, I've noticed. Not with everyone, not with everybody. You know, with my ex, he enjoys playing with me. He enjoys the game with me because he likes the attention that he doesn't get attention anymore, but he likes the attention that he used to get from me. So, if you play back, it'll go on forever. Like it will literally go on forever if you play back with them. Um, you have to literally stop the insanity because it will just continue. But no, the narcissists love to talk to you, but when they talk to you, it's very hard to understand what they're getting at. They leave things open-ended on purpose. They will put little cryptic messages in things to get you to think about them or to get you to give them attention or whatever it is they want from you. Lots of times it's that attention. But you have to be, smart when it comes to this kind of thing because the narcissist will definitely, you know, take it and run. They will because they really enjoy that supply that you give them. Um they just, talking to a narcissist, especially through a text message or an email or any kind of messaging service is extremely hard. Very, very, very difficult to do because they don't explain themselves. They they do this purposely. Remember, it's all deliberate. It's all deliberate. They don't explain themselves on purpose because they like the different meanings it can take. They might answer you by just a very general thing. And you might say, "What you have for dinner tonight?" And they'll say, "I went out." Okay, well, you went out. Okay, but what did you have for dinner tonight? They won't answer. They won't answer you and say, "Tonight I had spaghetti and meatballs, and I went out to this particular restaurant." And they'll name the name, and they say it was good or it was bad, and they'll tell you about it, right? Narcissists aren't like that. They will give you. They talk kind of like in rhymes and riddles. Like they don't give you answers to anything. So like talking to them through an email, through a text message is hard. And even in person is hard too. I mean, look, I've been there. I know what it's like trying to conversate with someone who gives you one word answers. How was work today? Good. Um, how was your lunch? Good. You know, that's what it's like. You can't have any kind of conversation with a narcissist. Like it's so difficult to do that. Like they're just not easy to talk to. And emailing and texting them is even worse than doing it in person. But when you're not in person with them, and when you're not physically in their presence, and you have to talk to them through text or email, it's difficult. And I tell you, don't even do it. Don't even waste your time doing it because it's just going to aggravate you. And they're just going to use that platform to give you more abuse. Like I said, they'll lure you into some kind of trap. You'll message them, and then they'll just ignore you. And it's like cat and mouse. It really is. And it's just a stupid ass dumb thing that they do. And they're doing it on purpose. Like it's all planned out, but do not fall for their BS. And a lot of people do. A lot of people fall for this stuff. A lot of people, I read comments in a lot of these videos, people talk about this kind of thing, and people do. They get caught up in this bullshit and they actually think that it's just happenstance that they do this. No, this is not just coincidence. This is all planned and deliberate. I did a video on this a couple days ago about this, and it's so important that people understand this because I know what it's like dealing with this with them. They purposely and deliberately will talk in double meanings, triple meanings. They'll give they won't even know, you don't even know who they're talking about. They'll just talk about stuff and you have no idea who it's focused on, um, and it's all deliberate. They enjoy the chaos, they enjoy the confusion, and they love playing these mind games. It's mind games. It's like that John Lennon song, Mind Games. That's what it's like. It's just mind games, over and over mind games. You're never going to get to the bottom of any problem with a narcissist. There's never going to be a solution to any question that you had, any problem that arose, any kind of admitting to you their downfall or a big, huge mistake they made. They're not going to tell you. They would rather just not talk about it. And if they do talk about it, they're not going to give you the real answer. They're going to talk about it. They might give you like one word answers, or they'll just give you a tiny smidge of it, and you're going to be wanting to know more, and they're not going to tell you. It's all done deliberately. This is really what they're like, and these are people in their 40s and 50s. Like I said, they don't grow up. Narcissists never mature. They never say, wow, I think it's time for me to I think it's time for me to, start acting my age. I think it's time that I stop this. They don't ever get to that point. They don't see anything wrong with it. In fact, most narcissists enjoy being narcissists. They really do. They love being a narcissist because it suits them. It serves them. It serves them well. I always say that narcissists, for me, the number one thing, if I had to describe a narcissist and what they're really like, they like to have their cake and eat it too. Okay. They want to have the comfort of pretending to be it's all pretend too. Okay. Pretending to be in a relationship while they're on the side here playing games, you know, cheating, playing games, mind gaming with this one and that one. This is what they do. It's really true what they do. It's everything to them is pretend. Nothing to them means anything. Everything is just a joke. Everything to them is for fun. There's nothing honest and serious about these people. There's no dignity in anything that they do. Everything is a big joke. And, you can expect this kind of behavior from maybe people in middle school, okay? No. Narcissistic men who are narcissists, even into their 50s, do not grow up. They still act like they're in 6th or 7th grade. And it's a big put off. I've talked about the put off. The way it makes you cringe, it's cringy. It's a very cringy thing. It truly is, because like the narcissist doesn't know that it's all been figured out. They don't know that you look at them like they're big assholes and that you cringe when you see them. Like they don't look at it like that. They just think that they're being cool. And it's not cool. It's very immature. It's distasteful. It's gross. It's very immature. And they come across as literally retards, and they don't care how they come across. They really don't. They would rather play this game thinking that you're going to play along with them, and you're like, I'm not playing with you anymore. Like, that's just over with. Like, you had your chance. It gets to a point where, like with mine, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, there may have been, the chance for a friendship, or not even a friendship, but just talking to each other as humans. It gets to the point where it's way beyond that now. They've burnt that bridge so much that the chance of any kind of talking or kind of what do you want to say, cordial meeting or friendly meeting or just talking as people will never happen, because they make it as such. They ruin stuff. They really do. And you have to really watch. You have to really understand what these people are like. Like, I know what they're like because I've been dealing with mine for almost 10 years. But it's an ongoing thing. All right. No contact is important. And I do feel, a lot of people say, you have to be no contact with these people. And I've never really had to do that because I don't I don't run in the same circles as mine. I don't see him. He doesn't see me. We're completely separate, and I don't need to go no contact. The only time me and him have had any kind of contact is through one particular site, and that's the only place. And that's not even direct. That's not direct at all. It's just cryptic messages through profiling, and that's all it is. That's not even direct. We're not in communication at all. I think that's important. And the only reason why I know of any of this is because of my own research and experimenting that I've done and that I've continued to do. And at times I do it more, at times I do it less, depending on, what's going on. In my own research into really understanding what narcissists are like in this kind of setting, you know. But yeah, it's insanity. It's complete insanity with these people. You can't ever trust them. Even if they were to contact you in a very mature fashion, which they'll never do, especially if you've been, estranged from them. Like with me and mine, it's been years, literally years since we've had any kind of real human talk. Um, but yeah, I mean, they're never going to contact you in a mature fashion. They're never going to tell you the truth about anything. They're never going to come clean. They're never going to admit any downfall, any mistake, any cheating, any lying that they've done. They're never going to tell you the truth about anything. Anything. So the whole kind of experience with these people is just a sham. It's not even real. Like everything that goes on between you and a narcissist is basically fake because there's no realness there. You're not really seeing the narcissist anything. All you're seeing is this game and this facade that they're putting up to continue their abusive ways, which is, whatever it is, whatever you're doing with them. If they're, writing you cryptic messages, if they're trying to get you to do something, if they're trying to manipulate you, whatever that is, that's all it's ever going to be. So it's important that people, get to understand this and learn about this. Um, do your research. I've done a lot of research on this, and I've done my own experimenting with this. That's how I know about these people. I know what they do from my own experience, from going through it with them. And they all do the same exact thing. Narcissists do lots of things on purpose. Confusing you and playing with your emotions is something that they love. They love it. It gives them this charge. Like I told you, it's like a heroin addict taking a shot or a Coke addict taking a line of Coke. That's what it's like for them. They love it. They love playing with your emotions. They love seeing you confused. They love it. It makes them happier than anything in the, like a pig in shit. It really does. It makes them so happy. They're basking in this. So try and understand what a narcissist is, okay? These are, very sadistic people. These are people who get joy out of making other people unhappy, putting other people down. Um, you know, yeah, I mean, that's what they like doing. That's what they really enjoy. They're very sadistic. Um, they're weird. They're very weird people. You're not going to know this right away. Like I said, you're going to be duped. I was duped for a couple of years there. I didn't know anything about this until until I really did. And like I said, there's going to be signs, there's going to be signals, but they're not going to be there right away. After when you're in the pedestal stage, you're not going to see this. It's only during, like I said, the devalue and the discard that you're going to start seeing these signs. Your relationship is going to do like a flip. It's going to completely flip, and you're going to be like, what's going on here? This isn't normal. This isn't right. I remember in mine, I was very like questioning myself, confused. Um, I didn't understand anything. I was like, what's going on with this? How come like everything just changed? Just changed. From everything that what it was, it just became very, very different and very bad. And when you try to break up with them, they're not going to let you. They're not going to let you. They'll say, okay, fuck you. See you later. And then a couple weeks later, they're going to be back, future faking with you to get you back into that spot that they love. And you're going to be stupid and you're going to say, okay. And you're going to believe them what they're telling you. And then the same thing's going to happen 3 months later. It's just a revolving, just like a circle that never ends. Um, love, that's not love. That's not love. That's mind games and manipulation and future faking and lies. And that's not love. Love is not like that. I didn't know that. See, for myself, I can say a lot of that was my own fault because I didn't know better. While everybody around me was telling me, I don't think this guy's going to do anything. This guy is just not right for you. You got to, when are you going to break up with him? Well, everybody around me was telling me this. All my friends, my guy friends, my girlfriends, everybody was telling me it's time for you to really leave this guy. I was the only stupid idiot there that was like, well, you never know. I was always making excuses for him and no good. Like, 10 people can't be wrong, you know. Um, it's true. It's really true. A lot of it, yeah, I did blame myself for that because I didn't know better and I was very forgiving and I didn't want to take the last 6 years and throw it in the garbage and say, okay, I didn't want to do that. Nobody wants to take years of their life and just say, okay, this was a waste. Like, I wanted to keep believing that he would change, that he would grow up, and that just never happened. And it still hasn't happened. Like, I can bet all the tea in China that he's still, and I can tell just by what he does on the dating sites, that he's still an idiot and a major asshole. And he's still doing the same exact shit that he was doing years ago. There's been no growth, no personal growth with him. He's still acting like he did when he was 12 years old, and it's just ridiculous. Um, but do not get bamboozled by them. Don't get duped into thinking that they mean you well, or that they can't help it, or that's just their personality, or they're just a jokester, or they don't mean no harm by it. Don't believe any of that stuff because they do. They damn well do mean harm. They enjoy it. They really do. Okay, so always remember this. Okay, don't ever give any benefits of the doubts with these people. They mean you harm. They really do.